From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for The Debate.
Debate at 10, powered by Nissan Magnite and Nourish.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we tell you how Mission India is going to ensure Mehul Choksi is brought back to India. This is a Mission India that is working cohesively and unitedly. The agencies come together, the legal strategy comes together, as well as the Ministry of External Affairs comes together to give what we call a diplomatic and a legal ensurement that Mehul Choksi is brought back. All this under the umbrella of the top legal mind, Queen's Counsel Senior Advocate Mr. Hari Salve, who's advising the government, and also now India files 2 affidavits in the Mehul Choksi case. We get you exclusive details of that, and then we debate.
It was this harbour in Antigua that was allegedly used for Choksi's travel to Dominica on May 23rd. And for the last 20 days, he has been in Dominican police custody, fighting desperately to get bail. But Team India, led by Harish Salve, has deployed a strong legal strategy. 2 affidavits have been filed in Dominica High Court, one by the CBI that mentions the cases against Choksi, and the second affidavit is that of the MEA that states Mehul Choksi is an Indian citizen.
The legal battle that is now being advised completely by Queen's Counsel and India's top legal mind, Senior Advocate Mr. Hari Salve, clearly has now advised them to file 2 affidavits to ensure Mehul Choksi is brought back. How is he going to be brought back? Let's be very clear, this is only going to happen on a diplomatic level as well as a legal level. Legally, they have to ensure that the citizenship status is going to be maintained. How is the citizenship going to be there? When we tell them Mehul Choksi escaped from India, and when we're able to establish, like the MEA affidavit is, that he escaped and he's still an Indian citizen, only then can Mehul Choksi under the international laws be dragged back to India.
Queen's Counsel and former Solicitor General Harish Salve had asserted that it's only a matter of time before Choksi is dragged back to India.
How soon do you think this can happen, sir?
Well, I don't have that kind of experience of Dominican courts, but I think hopefully we should be talking weeks rather than months.
Back home, CBI is tightening the noose around Choksi with a supplementary charge sheet.
They are first of all putting together the entire dossier in terms of the case that has been registered against Mehul Choksi. As far as the charge sheets that have been filed from the year 2019 onwards, there have been multiple charge sheets that have been filed.
With India going all out, the countdown for Choksi's return has begun. Let's debate.
Joining us for a firecracker debate and to really understand how Team India is going after Mehul Choksi, I introduce first Vijay Agarwal, who's lawyer for Mehul Choksi. I introduce Shaina NC, who's also joining us, spokesperson for the BJP, live from Mumbai. Ishkaran Singh Bhandari, lawyer and live from Delhi. Hari Prasad, whistleblower of the PNB scam, live from Bangalore, who's also now going to be with us to make us understand what really happened at that time. Gurmukh Chaudhary, who's the advocate, also live from Haryana with us. Manasvi Thapar, political analyst, lawyer, live from Ahmedabad, and Abdul Razak Khan, political analyst, live from Bangalore. Before I begin with everyone, I want to go across to Mehul Choksi's lawyer, Mr. Vijay Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, I want to ask you first about very specifically the affidavits that have been filed as what a united India mission that is being led now by Team India on an international forum to get Mehul Choksi back. This is not only about any longer just Mehul, but economic offenders, all of them, and India's loud message that we're going to drag them back. Not only is his citizenship challenged and said that he's an Indian citizen, but it's also said that Mehul, your client, got citizenship in Antigua by committing fraud. What are your first comments on this, and how do you think the the legal proceedings now are going to proceed?
See, these two affidavits were filed, Aradam, in the bail proceedings. Bail has been dismissed, so the affidavit's purpose is over and done with. And these affidavits, to my understanding, were not even considered by the court. See, first of all, India has to become a party there, so there is no impediment application by India. Moreover, there are at the moment there are three proceedings. One is a criminal trial in which India cannot be a party conceptually. Second is a habeas corpus plea where also India cannot be a party. Third is the bail plea which has been dismissed. So these two affidavits were in the bail application. And let me tell you one more thing. One more application was filed to say that our bail claim should be dismissed altogether outrightly without even adjudicating on merit. The court has this application by the Dominican government, one, which nobody knows. Number two is that the court did not consider these affidavits at all, because whether Mr. Mehul Choksi is a citizen of India or not, how he took the citizenship of Antigua is not a valid consideration for bail. You yourself showed on your channel, Rizam, that Mr. Mehul Choksi's bail has been rejected only on the ground that he is a flight risk. He does not have any roots in Dominica. So there is no judicial determination. Channel after channel, everyone is showing that Mr. Mehul Choksi is an Indian citizen. This is being determined in the Dominica court. For that, the Indian government will have to find some declaration or some constitutional petition. Nothing of that sort has been done now, but people seem to be enjoying it. It is sensationalism. It is people find it saucy, people find it spicy, people find it interesting. So this all discussion is going on that whether Mehul and everyone is coming and giving the yarn on the law and the Citizenship Act that Mehul Choksi is a citizen, is not a citizen, how he acquired the citizenship of Antigua. That litigation is to go on Antigua, where we are enjoying a stay. So this is not at all at the moment. So these affidavits were filed. Somehow I feel it is only for a coffee table talk. It is very, very good that, oh, these affidavits have been filed. And so this is not the consideration.
Mr. Agarwal?
You have been such an lawyer, Rizam. You
Mr.
know that
Agarwal?
in jurisprudence, this background is not at all important.
I want to ask you, you're talking about this in a manner in which it seems as if it's enjoyment for India and a coffee table pastime for India. But how is Mehul Choksi, your client, doing? Is he taking this in the same spirit of a coffee table pastime, frivolous enjoyment, and life is going on in the so-called good time spirit?
Ridham, you have seen the torture marks. You uproot a man from a place where he was, you throw him in Dominica, he is in hospital, and let me tell you, because of his blood clot problem, because of his heart ailments, he is virtually at this moment, his medical position has worsened because of this torture, and is virtually on deathbed.
I understand about the medical position, but Mr. Agarwal, I mean about the Indian affidavits.
Rizam, I have not completed. Your question was, you fused two questions into one. I have replied to the second one. I replied to the first one. I say that it is good for the coffee table talk because everyone is reporting wrongly. So it is very good to hear that India has stood up and sent a team and this and that. Please see, this is a wrong information. It is in a bail proceeding now. We are discussing the affidavit. Bail has been dismissed. Now the affidavit is gone. So you please see, so it is good for discussion. Nothing is going to happen. So I reiterate, it is only for the discussion. It is only to show that something is being done. The plane did not come back empty-handed. Still something is being done, and so that the people get to go there. Nothing is happening. It is meaningless, and it is only for a coffee table talk. I reiterate this. It has got nothing. It is good for discussion, that we discuss, enjoy talking about it, and we say, oh, something has happened and we feel good about it. It is nothing. It is minimal. Legally, technically, any lawyer worth his salt would say that first of all, India has to become a party there. And in bail proceeding, India will have no locus at all.
Yes. I want to ask you, as you think of this as India not being a party, I personally feel, Mr. Agarwal, that India has cornered Mehul Choksi. I'll tell you the timing also is because the CBI files a supplementary charge sheet against the fugitive Mehul Choksi, the PNB fraud case, and the new charge sheet covers the bank fraud that's worth 6,500 crores. It is a time in which the ED and the CBI is working together. It's a time when we're seeing the military, the diplomatic coup by the Ministry of External Affairs that has ensured globally that we are seeing that there are people and filing affidavits, which is unprecedented in a bail hearing, like you are saying, where India did not, I admit at one time, have locus, but they did file this to try and ensure that their Indian citizen brought back, because the locus comes and stems from the fact that he lied to Antigua and he in fact continues to remain an Indian citizen.
Whether he lied, not lied to Antigua, on those proceedings, there is a stay. One thing I agree with you, Aridham, that what is happening is unprecedented. Not only this filing of affidavits is unprecedented, this picking up a person and throwing him away so that if you cannot win a legal battle, you try it by a shortcut. This also undoubtedly, Aridham, is unprecedented. Next, you spoke about a supplementary charge sheet. It is so strange. Please see, when was the first charge sheet filed? It has been years. After that, a supplementary charge sheet has been filed. It further delays the trial against the existing people as well as Mr. Mehul Choksi. It is going to further delay everything. It is not putting somebody in a tight corner. It is not tightening of news. It is charge sheet after charge sheet after charge sheet after charge sheet. But the trial will not start. Now we have a Supreme Court judgment by Justice Rohinton Nariman, Vinu, 3 judges bench, that if the further investigation is on, the trial cannot start. So they can happily keep on filing the charge sheet, and my client will remain only an accused, having the presumption of innocence. So they should have rather been contented with the first charge sheet and tried to fast track the trial. But one thing I can say, that I want your viewers to know, that one thing I can say, that Enforcement Directorate has been very swift. In the FIR, the amount was around 4,000 crore, but in the charge sheet, the amount was somewhere around 3,000 crore in the first charge sheet. Though in second charge sheet, we are reading, I'm yet to see it myself. Your channel is faster than my office. So you've been able to find there a supplementary charge sheet. I only heard it from your channel, right? You broke the news, I believe. But let me tell you, Enforcement Directorate had moved swiftly at that time and has attached assets, which Enforcement Directorate itself has valued about 2,000 crores, and in my understanding, I've moved an application also. It is way beyond 6,000 crores. So one thing you may be very clear, that getting Mr. Mehul Choksi is not getting anybody's money back, because money has always been already been swiftly attached. ED really swung into the action and immediately went ahead and searched everything, all his properties, all his jewels and everything. So ED has been prompt in attaching everything.
Yes.
Everything has been attached. And one more thing I make clear, that when you are using the word fugitive, my client is yet to be declared fugitive. If you want to use it in a layman's language, it is all right. But if we are having a legal discussion, then as per the Fugitive Offenders Act, my client is yet to be declared a fugitive. There is a stay operating from the Mumbai High Court. But I agree with you that this kind of effort being put by various agencies in coordination, MEA has come into the picture, ED is in picture, CBI in picture, they are sending the plane, they are there, and I'm told that there is last time we discussed that the team has come back, no, team has not come back, or maybe there is some fresh team because I'm not there and I don't get to see the faces of the team. There are a lot of people and lawyers from India. There is a whole team there. So let us see how it pans out. But we will face all these storms and we will hold the ground firmly.
Yes, Mr. Agarwal, at the end of it, you and I agree on something. There are a lot of host of teams that are currently in Dominica, whether it's the joint mission there, and I do know there are several teams that are also advising the legal team. There is also a team that is currently there that was also read by Ms. Roth, who filed that affidavit, and there's another CBI team also currently camping in Dominica. We hope the holiday that was continuing for your client Mehul Choksi is over. As always, thank you for being eloquent, but the larger picture that needs to be understood and answered also by Shaina NC, then I want to come to you here. When is this going to stop, Shaina NC? Because the government has made promises. We've seen a lot of positive movement when it comes to the Vijay Mallya case and Nirav currently being in prison. When can India expect Mehul to be dragged back?
As said by Mr. Harish Salve, this is a matter of weeks. The CBI, as you know, has filed a supplementary charge sheet in the PNB scam against Mehul Choksi, and there's ample evidence on him and Gitanjali Jain that has got over 142 letters of undertakings, LOUs, 58 foreign letters of credit, that was FLCs, and 311 fake invoices. Now, overall, the new charge sheet also covers the bank fraud that was worth about 6,500 crores. So I don't understand how his lawyer is talking about 3,000 and 4,000 crores. It's 6,500 crores. This does not make for coffee table conversation. This is a disgrace of an Indian who is a cheater. And it has now emerged that not only were the LOUs taken into account in the previous charge sheets so far, but the fact of the matter is that this cheat, and I would like to use the word cheat, on June 10th, when the charge sheet list of the LOUs was obtained by Gitanjali Jain, we had a question which was not even answered by them officially. You have the lawyer here saying that, oh, my client is not a fugitive. Somebody who runs away, calls himself a fugitive diamond merchant or whatever you want to call him. This is a disgrace, and India will make sure that the Ministry of External Affairs will get them back.
Shaina, did not you change your name as Chowkidar during the profile day?
Nirav Modi, or whether it is...
My question to you and your party is, what were the agencies doing?
Ridham, can I speak? And to banks. The time
Ridham, can I come in?
Expose them all.
They came with so much fanfare, they talked so much against corruption.
And for the
what were the agencies doing when he escaped, madam?
Working in tandem.
Were you all sleeping?
Abdul Razak Khan, just let Shaina NC complete her point and then come in. Just let her complete her point.
Look, I just want to make one point before we go ahead. According to the High Court also, the Indian businessman, as we would like to call him, owes this money back to country, back to the banks, and the time has come for every citizen who believes they can get away scot-free to understand this government is not going to take it lying down. The Ministry of External Affairs, the CBI supplementary...
So, Abdul Razak Khan, we understand what Shaina NC is saying. What is making you laugh, Abdul Razak Khan? The fact that a supplementary charge sheet of 6,500 crores has been filed, the fact that the MEA files an affidavit in a bail hearing in the Dominica High Court, which has not happened earlier, and it's monumental in itself. The fact that the CBI files an affidavit in a Dominica High Court, and they say this man has committed fraud. The fact that the Dominica Special Public Prosecutor sides with India and says that he's wanted back in India for 11 offences. What makes anyone laugh when this is a PNB scam in which the common man says we want our money back and we want the international fugitive? And let's make very sure to all the panelists on this channel that the CBI has said this today, viewers. He is an international fugitive, and that is how we shall call Mehul Choksi an international fugitive. fugitive. Abdul Razak Khan. It's time Mehul is brought back, and this is no laughing matter.
Exactly.
Please.
I would like to speak. Please give me a moment. This reminds me of the song from the movie Dil To Pagal Hai. You know, हंसाता है यही रुलाता है, दिल तो पागल है. Indian agencies पागल है. Rhythm, I would like to say 4 years to Modi Sarkar, which spoke so much against corruption, came to power, that this man was let to go away from this country. He was, given a free hand, a green pass to flee the country in broad light. Each and every agency was
to care, go ahead and arrest him. It took 3.5 years for the CBI to file a supplementary charge sheet. 7 January 2018, Mehul Choksi runs away from this country, and the CBI, which is, during the elections in West Bengal, on the day of elections, they go to West Bengal, arrest leaders there. But they did not care since 3.5 years to go ahead and file a supplementary charge sheet. Are you joking? Is this country serious? Is this government serious? Are these agencies serious? My question to the ruling party today, what took you such a long time? Are you still sleeping? When it comes to elections, you speak so much about corruption, anti-corruption. मैं खाऊंगा, मैं खाने दूंगा. आपने खाने भी दिया, आपने खुद इनको भगाया. नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, Vijay Mallya, Parekh brothers, Kalra brothers. It is all good to the ears to listen to them that these people will be caught, one or the other, they will they'll be brought back to the country. But where is the seriousness? Does it take 3.5 years to calculate how much this person owes to the exchequer and file a supplementary charge sheet? Does it really take 3.5 years? Is my question straight to all those BJP supporters in the party.
Okay, Ishkaran wants to respond to that, but I would like to add before Ishkaran comes in, he tried to fled to Cuba, he was unable to. When he spoke to his alleged girlfriend, she's hinted he wanted to go to Cuba, but he was caught in Dominica. He also tried to seek bail, and you need to understand why we are saying this, because everything is happening when a Mission India that is being led by Queen's Counsel and Senior Advocate Mr. Hari Salve ensures not only that affidavits are filed, but he ensures and says this is not only a diplomatic understanding that India has reached, but Ishkaran, that the ecosystem in these countries has changed. They don't want to be seen as tax havens anymore.
Nothing has changed, Vidam. It has been 7 years. Nothing has changed.
Ishkaran.
I didn't interrupt him. Mr. Khan, I didn't interrupt you. Please let me speak now. You had your entire say. Nobody interrupted you. Let us be clear on a few cases. Economic offences as a class case. Nirav Modi is still in the jails of London. 7 times his bill got rejected. You as a lawyer
know that the bail law in London is way more liberal than the bail law in India. That means the documents presented there were impeccable. That is why the gentleman is still, or gentleman or cheat or whatever you want to call him, is still in jail. When it comes to Vijay Mallya, court after court, India has won. Some secret so-called proceedings are going on, some diplomatic proceedings may be going on, but the likelihood is that after you have won in the courts, you will win there also, and Vijay Mallya would also be back. Then you got for Christian Michael, who's already back in India, in that Augusta Westland deal, which is also progressing. And now we come to Mehul Choksi. If the government of India was not serious, they wouldn't have hired Hari Salve, they wouldn't have sent their team there. All the people who have run away, they are getting the message very clearly that you can't enjoy life. Mehul Choksi's bail is rejected, he's in jail. Nirav Modi's bail is rejected, he's in jail. Vijay Mallya, you know what stress he is going through because he is obviously frightened of being deported back to India. So everybody who ran away is being tackled. But the bigger question is, who gave all these loans? And if you understand the banking procedure, the first time when a loan is being given to you, the due diligence is way higher than if the loan is rolled on, because then it is a current account. As long as you have not defaulted on paying the interest payment, it is way easier to get it renewed rather than getting a fresh loan. So people who got fresh loans under UPA era and when the government changed had to flee from India because they knew that they could not sustain their Ponzi scheme or their schemes of loans and take one loan from one bank to put it to some other bank or some other account, have to run, and 2 of them are in jail. One is back in India and Vijay Mallya is facing stress. So this is the record of this government. which is pretty decent on these aspects. Quite different from when Warren Anderson used to be escorted out after doing a genocide of Indians because of whatever happened in Bhopal. So let us be very clear. On these fronts, the government is doing very well. And whether he comes back or not, that depends on the Dominican courts or whether he's sent to Antigua or he comes back to India. I as an Indian, you as an Indian, everybody hopes he comes back. But let's see what the judgment is. As of now, he's in jail. He's not enjoying himself. He's not the defense lawyer made like to say it's a coffee table or it's a treat. Or as you know, every defense lawyer, if you get a scratch, would say, I'm on deathbed. My client is on deathbed. That is typical defense counsel strategy and his duty to do so. But the reality we both know, he is in jail and that nobody can run away from.
Yes, Gurmukh Chaudhary wants to reply. Gurmukh, I also want to tell you, adding to what Ishkaran is saying, if the Dominican government did not understand and this was not diplomacy at work and this is fantastic diplomacy by the Indian side at work, then the Dominican government could not be calling him a prohibited immigrant. He's an illegal immigrant in Dominica. They want to wash their hands off him immediately, Gurmukh Chaudhary.
First and foremost, ma'am, I would want to say that the only issue I'm having here is not that Mehul Choksi is being brought back. We are welcoming, all of us, we are welcoming him with open hands and we want him to be tried under law and justice has to be done. However, the issue here is that the present dispensation must not be attributed for his coming back, as it is the same dispensation that facilitated his citizenship and his movement from India to Antigua. They gave him the police clearance certificate. So now they cannot wash their sins by saying we are getting him back. And first they have to admit that yes, we were hand in glove, we were in connivance, we made him leave the country, and now they must say that now we are cleaning our sins and we are trying to get him back. That is the first point I wish to make here.
Gurmukh Chaudhary, I just want to counter that with only just one point here. And before you just continue and before everyone does, I want to make people understand what the Economic Offenders Act is all about, because we studied it very closely. And I just want to add one point here. When Vijay Mallya in the UK Westminster Magistrates Court gets a judgment from India, which in extradition laws, like Ishkaran was saying, UK is very strong. The extradition laws in United Kingdom are such that people don't just walk out of there. It's actually a holiday for people. It's been a tax haven at one time for them. But India was able to successfully, in case after case, in appeal after appeal, ensure Vijay Mallya does not get relief from the UK courts to such a limit that he's considered himself bankrupt. Nirav Modi, in the Nirav Modi case, not only has India got prima facie to prove that his extradition should happen, but also that he should not be given bail. So this is another diplomatic and legal victory for India. So for everyone who continues to say that this has not got something to do with the government, I would say let's not be ostriches here. This is not even about supporting any government, but about seeing the clear facts, as we are, Gurmukh Chaudhary, that are happening in the courts of law, in international courts. So this is not about just fighting a national or an opposition and a government battle anymore, but about India uniting to get back people who robbed the common man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I totally agree with you on that point. I totally agree with you on that. And I must say that we all support the government and we all want that fugitives should come back and be tried and justice be done in all these matters. However, the government cannot do away, wash away, evade or avoid the past sins. This cannot be ignored that this is the same government which facilitated his movement from Delhi to Antigua.
Expose has come out. The Indian authorities have made it clear, sir, that the entire PNB scam was carried out by banking officials in collusion with this so-called cheater, fugitive, whatever you want to call it, the Brady House branch of PNB as well. The charges list, all the LOUs that were obtained by Gitanjali Jain, and in addition, the ones obtained by Gokulnath Shetty in 2017 as well. So please, just give the government of the day the credit where it's due. The Ministry of External Affairs, the diplomatic ties are the reason is the reason why you're putting these people back and the money back in the system. 6,500 crores, sir, maybe a petty change for you, for this country, and for the citizens.
Is the government blind? Then
If it wasn't for the government,
Rhythm, can I come in, Rhythm?
answer one question. If the government did not get into active mode on June 10, earlier we know that DIG Sharda Raut had signed the affidavit to inform the Dominican courts with regards
When
to
did the government
in India.
How do you
Please,
justify-
this has been going
how
on
do you
for long
justify-
enough, and we're at the
Madam, with all
fag
due
end. So
respect-
right now, at least understand
Shaina, madam.
that the supplementary
Shaina,
charge
madam.
sheet. Sir,
Madam,
the
with all due
supplementary
respect, how do you
charge
justify
sheet
the police
has
clearance certificate?
142 letters
What
of
do you have to
undertaking,
say? What
58
do you have to
foreign
say on the
letters of
police clearance
credit, and
certificate?
311 fake invoices. What more do you want? This banking
Madam,
fraud, which
what
is
about
worth
the police clearance
6,500
certificate?
crores, it's time that
Please
we
elaborate.
all stand united, at least on
Please
debates
elaborate,
such as
please.
this don't have a divisive voice. There's no reason. There's a
please elaborate on
three-pronged
the police
strategy,
clearance
and we are at the fag end.
What about the police clearance certificate? Please elaborate on that. Why was that given to Mehul Choksi, and why his citizenship was facilitated in Antigua? Even after
Okay, Gulmukh Chaudhary, before you continue and before Shaina continues and you make this a political battle, we at Republic, 1 minute, I just want to say to both of you, before this becomes a political battle, and I've been saying from the very start, at Republic TV we've done investigation after this investigation into what the PNB scam was all about and what Mehul Choksi and why we call him not only an international fugitive but a cheater, a fraud. I want to speak to whistleblower Hari Prasad, who at the very start started and spoke about the PNB scam, and I want to start about what he said when he spoke about it, when he said he was robbed of 13 crore. He said not only he but hundreds of others, Hari Prasad ji aapne kaha tha, were robbed of this money. And I remember you had said in your complaint filed with the Bengaluru police at that time in 2016, I think, that he wrote to CBI and ED and to the PMO's office, and you had at that time said that it's not only me but everyone who's been cheated by Mehul Choksi. Tell us what happened at that time and what was the real scam, because we say it's not one but two but hundreds of people that were robbed by Mehul.
Yes, actually this whole case is going on since 2012 itself. The Mehul Choksi started to cheat many people by running Ponzi schemes. We had filed a criminal complaint against him in Bangalore police, and we got a arrest warrant which states that he has to surrender his passport. But you know, Mehul Choksi being having such a fat checkbook, he managed to get away with the police commissioners in Bangalore police, and then he dodged the matter. But the entire situation, entire matter was informed very in detailed letter which I had written to ED, CBI, including the PMO. And all agencies are really aware of the whole situation. It's not that it is happened overnight. I clearly told this guy is going to run away from the country, and please start the investigation immediately and do the forensic audit of his company. Immediately found out, but nobody took action in time. And he escaped from the country for whatever is the way he managed it. And also he got the clearance certificate from MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, as well as police, despite being having so many criminal cases pending against him. So there also he managed some people. You see, this guy is a very smart operator, and he knows exactly how to manage the whole system. The same way he is also managing in Antigua or Dominica or wherever it is. He knows how to make buy the politicians in both sides. So it's very difficult to catch him. You know, we can play any kind of things, but he is having a fleet of lawyers. He knows how to manage the whole thing. We are too slow in acting. That's the problem with the Indian system and Indian people. So we always wake up when the chore is gone. That is the problem we are facing. But this situation was very well known to all the agencies. So we cannot blame any government that it is gone without a notice. In my letter, I clearly told this person is already cheated to the tune of 10,000 crores. That was the estimate I had in 2016. But later on, it found out to be more than 10,000 crores. So this whole thing is a sham, actually. Nobody is going to bring him back. And even if he comes back, money is not going to come back. He has given money in the world. So no chance to get back money. That's what our worry.
Rhythm, can I come in?
That is the person who's the whistleblower in the scam speaking. And he speaks, yes, Manasvi, I'm just coming to you. And he speaks from the heart when he says that he's a chore. And as people have an issue with us calling Mehul Choksi chore, the fact is he's not only been a chore, he's been a fraudster, Manasvi. And the real question needs to be, as India's trying to corner him with watertight case and affidavits, this is no longer a time for trying to say your government did this, my government did this, your opposition tweeted this, but to try and understand we need a strategy to get him back. That strategy is here. The governments of both Antigua and Dominica have come together very interestingly and said, we want to wash our hands off him. Please, India, welcome him back with open arms and take him back.
Rhythm, please allow me now. Rhythm, please allow me. Rhythm, I am very glad by what you are doing at Republic, and thank you for calling Hari Prasad, because Hari Prasad was the one who was the first whistleblower of this particular scam. And a cheater like Mehul Choksi did not just cheat the government of India, he cheated two different governments. One was the UPA and another was the NDA. He cheated the UPA by getting loans, and he cheated the NDA by going away from India. He left NDA when he was cheating India, and now he's trying to create a different kind of cheating at different international waters. So he's one of the biggest international cheaters we have ever got in the global history. Now, how do we tackle this cheater? What is happening right now is we are not understanding that instead of being proactive, we have been reactive. And when we say we have been reactive, we need to understand what went wrong. So first thing which went wrong was in 2016, 26 July, when the same person who is in our panel, Mr. Hari Prasad, wrote a detailed letter about this scam to the PMO. The PMO is a very busy organization, a very busy office. What did the PMO did? PMO forwarded to the ROC Mumbai, and 29th July 2016, the same person, Mr. Hari Prasad, wrote a letter to the ROC Mumbai about the actions of ROC Mumbai. But ROC Mumbai did not do anything. And then what happened? MEA gave him a clearance. So this particular Mehul Choksi is not a normal criminal, is not a normal cheater. He is one of the best minds in cheating which we have ever got, and we cannot be proud about it. The thing here is, how do we win back the trust of people, the trust of public banks back in India? And here is not the time, which you rightly said. He is a cheater. He is not a cheater of UPA. He is not a cheater of NDA. He is a cheater who has planned against government of India, against the Union of India. How do we strategically bring him back? But what is happening right now is we are being reactive. Had he not gone to Dominican courts, we had no idea where Mehul Choksi was. Now is the time. How do we bring it back? If not from the Dominican courts, but from Antigua, and that should be the strategy. But still what we are saying is, Nirav Modi is not there in India. Lalit Modi is not there in India. Vijay Mallya is still not there in India. We cannot go.
I just want to explain something. 1 minute, and I want all my guests on the screen so that I can explain something to people when we are talking about Manasvi, international law. Understood the angst of the people, but I don't want this to be a political debate, as I've been very clear. In fact, I don't even think this should be a legal debate. This is not even about diplomacy. I feel that the sheer massiveness and the beauty of the situation is how India is trying. And before I go across to Ishkaran and Abdul Razak Khan, I only tell you one thing. When India in this concerted effort, and look at the way this is being done, I'm almost reminded of the Kulbhushan Sudhir Jadhav case, when the same kind of movement was done by the agencies, by the lawyers, by the Ministry of External Affairs, and they all came together before an international court. Yes. And I'm seeing that same synchronization here. I've seen it earlier in the Vijay Mallya case also. So I just wanted to, before I go across to Ishkaran, I just want to say this, that today when the CBI files an affidavit, and in that affidavit that they've given 2 points, that there are 11 offences pending against him, and they also say that there's a red corner notice, very nicely in a court of law in Dominica. And understand the seriousness of this, Ishkaran, and I would like you to highlight this. In Dominica, the Ministry of External Affairs talks about citizenship. They not only say that Mehul Choksi's citizenship has to be Indian, but also that he got citizenship in Antigua and Barbados by fraud, and therefore the only place for him is to deport him back to India. It is the harmony that I'm talking about that has been unprecedented. Ishkaran.
Rhythm, I would answer 2 points of it. Firstly, as has been rightly pointed out, that if there was a complainant is here, that if there was a 2016 existing complaint and that was informed to PMO, the PMO in due course sent it to the concerned officer or department. That should have been synchronized and he should have never been allowed to leave from India. That nobody should deny. But equally, let us say that we learned our lessons from there. When Jet Airways owner was trying to flee India, that synchronization was there and he was nabbed at the airport itself. So that synchronization also takes years to come in the system when the system changes. So that synchronization we saw in the case of Jet Airways, and good that that improvement has occurred in our country. Second aspect of what you are trying to say, that is exactly India's case. If we obtain certain documents in Antigua by fraud or by cheating or by bribing some petty official some place, that should not stand the scrutiny of law. And that is exactly India's case. In fact, if I'm not wrong, Antigua's Prime Minister, while speaking to your channel, also said we don't want him back. So if the courts in Dominica come to the conclusion that he is a fugitive from India, he is a citizen of India, and the correct destination for him to be sent back is India, that depends on the Dominican court process. I think everybody on this panel would be happy, and that's something which we should all appreciate rather than just needlessly pointing fingers. And when we talk about Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and other cases, please understand to win cases in international forums that is not very easy, but India is consistently winning it in the international forums. That is the last step. Vijay Mallya has the last mile left. Nirav Modi is in jail, so maybe 1 or 2 steps left. But at the moment, we are winning every case, and that is something to be appreciated. But the international courts will take their time because that's a due process of law. And in that due process of law, we are ahead. We are winning in the courts we are in, and hopefully they will be back soon. That is what I see from the direction the cases are going right now.
Yes. Abdul Razak Khan still needs to make a point, but Abdul Razak Khan, remember that there was in the Dominican High Court Justice Vainata Adrian Roberts who's deemed him at a flight risk, and I've been in the Zoom hearings where Mehul Choksi is there, and I would like to point out, my sources tell me no matter what Vijay Agarwal, Mehul's lawyer, says, Mehul Choksi is in panic. And I'm saying this through my sources, and these are very strong sources. He's in panic. They are shocked. No matter what they say about this, how India was able to file these affidavits in a bail hearing and how they were heard and how that they said he's at a flight risk and then he was denied bail. Mehul Choksi is in panic at what his future is. He's also got his alleged girlfriend Barbara to hint that he was going to go to Cuba. These are very strong arguments, and if you look at this case, Abdul Razak Khan, it's very clear, matter of weeks, Mehul should be back.
Definitely, yes, Ridham, your sources are true. Anybody facing such a big case in a court that's away from his home country will definitely be in a panic situation.
Will definitely be in a panic situation. But I would like to say that if he comes back to India, there would be a can of worm, that would be opened. There would be many names coming out. For that reasons, I think he is still not being brought to India back. He is not in such a country where India does not have good relations with. India has very good relations with Antigua and Barbuda. Recently we have supplied.
The wheels of justice are grinding.
Madam, please allow me to complete. Please allow me to complete. I see your desperation. You know it well who supported him. You know it well who gave him the green card. You know it well how he escaped the country. 27 July 2016, the whistle was blown. If there was willingness and seriousness, he could have been arrested in this country itself. First, he is allowed to escape, then there is a case, 3.5 years down the line, you file a supplementary charge sheet. Madam, there is no seriousness, no willingness from the government agencies. It is not one government agency. He has hoodwinked almost all the agencies. Ministry of External Affairs, how did he clear immigration first of all? When there was a case against him, when the whistleblower Hari Prasad, 27 July 2016, red flag was raised. 2 years down the line, 7th January 2018, how is he allowed to flee the country?
Sir, if you allow me, then I can rebut, no? You can run, but you cannot hide from the country.
And willingness of your Modi Sarkar.
The wheels of justice grind.
Madam, those are all jumlas that are given during elections.
They've all been arrested.
Those are only jumlas given during elections. Like how you only promise, you don't do anything at all.
Not allow economic offenders to loot the country and believe that they can evade the law. This is the first time you have the Ministry of External Affairs, the CID.
Narendra Modi Sarkar is the biggest failure for this country.
If you feel
Madam, Modi Sarkar is the biggest failure. You can only speak, but you cannot do anything.
The extradition process
Do you have a reply for one simple question, Shaina-ji? Shaina-ji, do you have a reply for one simple question?
That this government will not let
a person who steals mobile in this country is given a punishment for a magnitude of this big offense. How is it possible for him to escape from the country?
500 crores and
if the government agencies are not involved, how is it possible for them to escape? Almost all the agencies were
please
involved
compliment rather than just try to dissuade. A legal representation of agencies is already present, and we know that if this extradition process is at the last leg, then this is we are on the right track.
Shaina, madam, with all due respect, I want to make a very clear point here. Till this debacle fiasco happened, and he was caught in Dominica, can you please tell me one single step undertaken by the government of India to bring him back?
What do you think all this is an endeavor? What are you saying, sir? Please understand that this is a government that walks the talk.
There was no mention. There was no mention of Mehul Choksi.
When the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that whether it's a fugitive businessman Vijay Mallya or Nirav Modi or Mehul Choksi coming back to face the law, the government is pursuing. What do you think this extradition is? What do you think the idea of getting them back and getting them to repay the original sin?
I am talking about Mehul Choksi here. I am not talking about Vijay Mallya. I am not talking about Nirav Modi. It's about Mehul Choksi. Not a single step. Whereas this was the same government which facilitated his citizenship.
Have you even read the two affidavits and the charge sheet submitted by the government? Why do you think Harish Salve is in a position to get them
3.5 years?
And who was
when he is caught on a foreign land?
Companies and these cards. You talk about all these.
Not at all, madam.
Go back in time.
I won't let you attribute this to the present dispensation.
Who gave these loan after loan on no kind of guarantees?
When he's caught on foreign land, you will say that government is bringing him back. When the government facilitated his movement from India to Antigua.
And that becoming a non-performing asset, the legacy of the NPAs comes from the Congress.
This cannot be forgotten. This cannot be forgotten that this was the same government which facilitated his movement.
CAG report. Even in cases of export of jewelry and all that, when it comes to the
you cannot fool the public of this country.
If you want to really question that, please go back and question
this is the government which is facilitating.
The CAG had indicated that the government
this government is not at all responsible, and they are hand in glove with these fugitives, and they are the ones who let him leave the country.
You can run, but you cannot hide from the country's chowkidar. Please understand the clear sign that our government and the Narendra Modi government is not going to allow economic offenders to lose the country or evade the law.
Not to forget the Ram Janan Bhoomi Trust scam. 18.5 crores. Not to forget that. Chowkidari chor hai, madam. I want to say that on national television.
Allegations. When you have the CBI and the ED and the income tax and the MEA working in coordination efforts to get these absconders back, and if you're not appreciative of the fact that 13,500 crores may be petty change to you, I'm not opening because this goes back to the
failures of NDA government, this show will run over for 2 hours. 3 hours.
Almost all the agencies.
So you're questioning the legal team representing India as well, I guess.
Every agency, come on, despite knowing that he is such a big offender, he has committed such a big offense, how is it possible to hoodwink each and every agency? How is it possible that...
Rhythm, you know, when the finance minister
is there one single
said that the fugitives are going to be coming back, to India to face the law, we have walked the talk. The government has used every single agency and every proof to make sure that there are no loopholes when it comes to this 13,500 PNB scam. Now the point is the original sin has been committed.
This is the biggest lie on national television, I could say.
Goes back to 2013. It was
Can you please allow me?
mollycoddling Mr. Nirav Modi and all his public.
Rhythm ji, can you please allow me?
Do understand that this
Manasvi, go ahead and make your point. Also, China has made the point that the finance minister has in a statement said that all of them want to be there. Manasvi wants to make his point and come back. I have 3 minutes on the debate. Go ahead, Manasvi.
Shaina ji, you made a point that government has done everything. The only question what remains is, what did the government do when the FIR was lodged in 2016? What did the government do when this matter went to the ROC Mumbai? What did the government do when the MEA gave a green signal to Mehul Choksi to leave the country? What did the government do? UPA did everything wrong. We take it. Now this was the Sarkar of Chaukidar. What did the Sarkar of Chaukidar do? FIR registered, nothing happened. MIA gives a green signal, tells him, Mehul bhai, aap chhod ke jao Bharat ko, no problem. And now you are saying the government has done everything. In 2021, the trust in the public bank of the people of this country have been lost, and now you are saying the government has done everything. No, ma'am, the government has not done everything at the right moment, at the right time, when it was required to be done, when the FIR was registered by so much of difficulty. Mr. Hari Prasad, who's in our panel, ask him how much difficult was it for him to register a FIR against one of the biggest
Ishkaran wants to reply to that, Manasvi. You made a point. Ishkaran wants to counter that. Ishkaran.
Seconds more. Now you are saying the government has done everything. No, the government was on a reactive model. Now, जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत, तब आप बोल रहे हो आपने सब कुछ किया. That is not right. Now we need to accept that mistakes were committed during the NDA, during the UPA too. Now we need to counter it out. But now you are saying UPA ने सब खराब किया, UPA ने खराब किया, ठीक है. They are out of the show now. But now the questions are for the Sarkar of Chaukidar. What are we trying to do? Most fugitives are out of the country, and we are chest thumping and saying.
Okay, Manasvi, all right. Ishkaran wants to make his point. You made your point. It's been understood. Ishkaran, make your point.
You have had your say. Yeah, thank you. If you've had your say.
Okay, Manasvi, of course you're asking questions. Ishkaran, yeah.
The rhythm, we have to understand the situation we walked into. In May, end of May, the finance ministry was doing 80-20 scheme. Even while leaving the office, they were trying to benefit certain people who have run away from India. So people who got these benefits and had operated with certain bureaucrats while they were getting this benefit obviously had deep-rooted tentacles into the system. That is why they could get the benefit. That is why even while exiting office, they were getting benefit. Those tentacles take time to be uprooted. Nobody has a magic wand day one that he knows which person sitting where has been planted by whom and which person has been grieved. Because if I remember correctly, the complainant said the scam.
It was 4 years to Modi Sarkar. From 2014 to 2018. He ran away in 2018.
Let me finish.
What was Modi Sarkar doing for 4 years?
See, if you are Rhythm, if we are
Sir, what was Modi Sarkar doing for 4 years? You cannot get away.
Let him make his point.
No, sir, you cannot get away. Don't try to blame the previous government. Sir, red flag was raised under your government's tenure. Red flag was raised in 2016.
Let me answer that point because you are heckling, you are repeating will not change anything. Neither will anybody understand what is being said. So just by speaking loudly or heckling without any sense to what you are saying, you will not. So firstly, would you ask the arrest of everybody in UPA who gave these loans?
He was not alone in this offence.
Secondly, what is being done right now? Rhythm, either you know
the government did support, the government did protect these crony capitalists. The government, Modi Sarkar, supported these people to run away. It was not he alone.
Or if you want to keep speaking...
Okay, Ishkaran's made a point. Abdul Razak Khan, you made your points throughout the debate, and this is no longer just about one government, but I want the last word in the last minute of the debate to go to the man who was the whistleblower in the PNB scam, Hari Prasad. Hari Prasad, you've spoken about the money you lost. You've spoken about the money other people lost, and therefore I ask you, as I think we're on the very verge, no matter what the pessimists say, on the verge of getting Mehul Choksi back to India, how do you think this makes you feel, because you were the people who battled it out right in the start?
Well, ma'am, even if Mehul Choksi comes back to India, I am more than sure that the money he has looted is not going to come back. He has definitely siphoned it out to wherever, all over the world. He has given it away to his family members and hidden it in the form of diamonds, perhaps. So the thing that the money seems to be a remote possibility. We can get him back,
Yes.
possibly to India.
Okay.
I don't know when it will happen, but getting back the money looted by him, it seems to be a Herculean task, because what he seized by Enforcement Directorate in India is a very minuscule amount. The jewelry that ED has told that they have seized the jewelry and other things.
So the second charge sheet says 6,500 crores, no?
So I don't think the money is going to come back. It is all hidden away somewhere. He may come back, but money is not going to come back. That is our big concern. And nobody is listening to people who have lost. Whatever the money is seized by ED will be taken by the government. What about people like us? Where will we go to get our money?
Yes.
So nobody will give the money to us. We have no legal force of action.
All right. I want to say that at the end of the debate, the one consensus that I'm getting, even from lawyers of Mehul Choksi and others, is that he needs to be dragged back. They're saying that the ED and the CBI is doing a good job. I just want to say that all of us are on one page, that he needs to come back to a place where he has Indian citizenship. And this is not only about Mehul, viewers. We've been saying that India's Economic Offenders Act is working. Our diplomatic pull is working. It is time that we ensure that Sanjay Bhandari, Nirav, Malia, Mehul, all of them and others like them are dragged back. And like Hari Prasad said, the money that they've siphoned off is also back. Thank you for being with us on this debate. Have a good week ahead.